Well, hello again everyone, and welcome back to Kovac Enterprises. As you can see in front of you, these are the final sub-assemblies of the Lost in Space B9 robot, and this should be the finale. And speaking of finale, this is going to be the final assembly to put our B9 robot all together. So without further ado, I just want to say one more thing. I probably forgot to mention this, but I think I said it in the out-of-box review. We do have some decals to accompany the B9 robot here, especially around the lighted panel and stuff like that. And that's this one right here. And of course, we're going to go ahead and apply that to the model itself first before we actually start putting it all together. So just probably forgot to mention that while I was building the rest of the robot. So alright, so further ado, you can see right here we can kind of bring this in a little bit, and as you can see, this was actually from the previous videos. We used the actual tester's dull coat on this to take away some of the gloss, shiny gloss to it. So I think that's probably a better true representation of what it was like on the show itself. This is included right now. It's kind of mocked up, but this is the actual waist plate. You can see, you can pop that out, so that actually kind of fits right in like so. And then of course we have our lower torso rotation ring that kind of fits on top like so. And then of course the torso assembly is going to fit on top of that. And of course the instructions are saying, you don't have to glue it if you want to, so you can rotate the torso left and right, or 360, however you want to do it, or you can actually glue it down if you want, just as a fixed model for display purposes. But there you go, there's that. And of course we're back to our original step 1 and step 2 of our brain and the neck assembly. So that's ready to go to be attached to the robot. And of course our previous episode had the lower section of the tread assembly. So without further ado, let's get started, and we will be right back, and we will show you the results. So stand by. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about decals, especially for this B9 robot. The way I approach putting the decals on the clear part, the lighted panel for the center part of his torso. Let's bring this over here a little bit. Alright, so these are the tools of the trade that I was using to apply the decals. So basically we got a bowl full of water here, and then we have our tweezers, and I have a little brush right here in case I need to brush anything on, and a Q-tip to soak up any extra water, and then sometimes I also use a toothpick just to kind of do some final adjustments. And as you can see, this was originally the B9 robot's decal sheet here, so you can see that I meticulously cut off all the little square holes there, because the lettering on those decals were really small. So there you go. So with that being said, and also one final thing is, once I actually place the decals in their proper sequence in relationship to what the instructions call for, I also used the microsol setting solution, and that's where I used my kind of brush to kind of lightly brush everything in, since it's an irregular surface on those lighted panels, just so it will conform. And then once that was done, I basically did the final task of putting the pledge floor polish on there to seal everything in permanently. And this is kind of how I had it set up for the torso assembly. I took one of my old t-shirts and I propped up the torso at kind of a 45-degree angle so it'd be easier to apply the decals with. So and then of course we also did the program bay, which had 3 small little circular decals for that too as well. So that is basically installed right here in the program bay area. So the decals are complete. So with that being said, we can go ahead now and complete the task of putting all of our parts together to make this B9 robot complete. So we'll be right back. And now the conclusion of our Lost in Space B9 robot. As you can see, he is now fully assembled and ready to be displayed. So basically a few things to kind of go over. First off, the first part of the final assembly, I guess at 6A, when you first put the torso assembly on there and the lower torso rotation ring with the wrist plate, and then you glue carefully the retainer pin to kind of hold everything together. When I did that and going through the process of putting everything else together with them, the actual retainer pin came off and fell inside the model itself, where it wasn't able to retrieve it. So that was kind of one little issue. But as you can see, if I can still I can still kind of rotate him around. It's just that the top part can be taken off because the retainer pin is down in the mechanism. So, but no biggie. So there you go. So here we go. We have them facing towards you there. The other issue is, everybody knows who builds these things with the vinyl, with the legs and the knees. Since it is made out of vinyl plastic, even though I put the Tester's dull coat on there, I noticed that some of the material was kind of flaking off, but I still like the actual color of the vinyl itself. So basically, once I put everything together, I actually took some of my Pledge floor cleaner and I actually brushed the entire leg structure with the knees to kind of help seal that in so it wouldn't be flaking off the vinyl any longer. So I hope that works. We will find out here in the future, but it seems to be looking okay now. And so like I said, there you go. And so we'll just kind of do a quick little turn around so you can see all sides. Another thing that I did, I actually used some of the panel line black coloring just to kind of give it a little bit more realism, I guess, with the nuts and bolts and screws and everything. So I put some of that panel line right here in the knee hinge area, and a couple of little screws here, and then up by the lifting eyes right there where they got some screws. So just to kind of darken it up a little bit. So there you go. You can see the power pack right there on the side, and here's the back part of him right there. So I mean, all in all, it's a very nice model itself. It was nice and easy to put together for the most part. Had a little trouble trying to line the knee hinges with the lower part of the build there, but a little time and patience, we got everything lined up correctly and glued in place. So that was that. So there you go. There's our Lost in Space B9 robot. all put together. I kind of went through my other totes and actually kind of brought this thing out. I don't know if everybody remembers this. This is the Johnny Lightning brand name for the Lost in Space. They made 4 or 5 different type of items, one of them being the actual B9 robot. So let me see if I can bring it in a little bit closer here, but okay. But you can see it's pretty authentic with the model that I just built. So in this case, if you can see in the plastic there, that the actual ears on the radar section matches with what I've got. So that's pretty cool. And then of course underneath the tread assembly, this particular die cast has the wheels, so you can kind of wheel them around. And of course with the they give you this little clip as a bonus. This is happened to be clip number 37. So anybody who wants to collect or be a collector on the Johnny Lightning thing, I just thought it was pretty interesting. So there you go. All right. Without further ado, thank you all for watching my series here and the build of the Lost in Space B9 robot, and I hope you enjoyed, like I said, all the episodes. So until next time on, I'll figure out what I want to do for our next build, but I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we will catch you on the next modeling build. So till then, have a nice day, and we will, this is Kovac Enterprises, and we are signing off. So long. Bye.